Yeah, all your clothes, just the
All your
EMP takes your clothes away.
It burns
new
all your clothes.
scenario. A bomb goes off that just eliminates all clothing.
Look down, you're
Then
like,
what do you
where's
do?
everything go?
Poof, you're naked. So tonight on the episode of Board with the Boys,
Oh, now we're just going Australian.
suddenly we're in the zombie apocalypse. What do you do?
No
you say
setup.
suddenly. You say suddenly when the zombie apocalypse. What do you
Suddenly we are in the zombie
Oh.
apocalypse.
You just
say
like
like suddenly when it is? Is it what?
just walking down the street and it's like, whoa, zombie apocalypse. It just started. All right, we gotta give a little bit of a story. All right, we'll say it's the year 2049,
No.
and some weird asteroid has hit the Earth and it's given off some particles or something.
Radiation.
2050 starts, half the world is zombies. What do you
COVID
do?
turns it.
How do you survive the zombie apocalypse? What's your strategy from day one on?
Eat tater
I-
tots.
I died when the meteor hit.
It hit your house. It's over. You don't
I'm
have to
dead
try to
already.
figure it out.
So
I
Tim's
died
already
a year
gone.
before.
So
I
Tim's
died a
gonna,
year
Tim's
ago.
gone.
Tim's gonna
before
stay
it's done.
silent for the rest of the podcast.
All right, see you guys. Just log off.
Just leave. He's out.
My strategy is to not die.
Well, so you gotta like specific. So like day one, do you like fortify your house and try to stay there?
Yeah.
Do you like immediately group up with like friends or family like from day one, or do you try to like, live it out in your house as long as you can and then coordinate with other people? Like,
I try to fortify and get as much food, water, whatever as I can.
but do you just do
Fortify
that
the-
at your own house, or do you try to like immediately get a group of people because
I feel like I'd get a group.
like find a central house, central location or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about this before, but like it's not as like kind of early, but I like slowly taking like if you live on like kind of a suburban area, kind of with like blocks and stuff, just like slowly retake a street at a time and just like expand, like block up the street, like
Yeah.
clear that street, clear the houses, like gain anyone who's there, and then just like block off the street, and then just like slowly like expand your little like community.
Yeah, like make a new
Little bit at
little
a time.
city. Like,
Yeah.
Well, what
Just-
happens if they don't want to listen?
If they
Well,
want
they're
to
stupid.
well,
I'll just kick them out.
kick them out. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Take
what
the
if
house.
they later on they'll be like, we know how to get in.
Well, I mean, the whole
So
like
what
humans fighting humans is obviously
Yeah.
part of it, but it's like
That's worse.
for like
That's worse.
the zombie thing has to be your first like priority. So yeah, like clearing a street and like putting cars and a roadblock or something like that. So like you have a fairly safe area where you can like go on the street without like
But the thing is, like
Seeing one or
everything,
something.
like your survival instincts kick in so fast that you don't even care who's around you.
what was that? Like you're gonna start murdering people or
you
what?
should.
No,
you
it's
live
like,
in. You don't want to like get a bunch of elderly people from an elderly home on your side. Like
Oh yeah, you don't want.
you do. You do care. You should care.
Yeah, I mean you.
no. I mean like other people that you just met. You just be like, oh yeah, I'm surrounded by them, and the other way out is this one door, and you can only budge into it. What's your idea? Would you be the only one that goes into, or you would stay fight?
Where's this door go to? I'm so
I'm
confused.
so
right?
confused by this.
How did we get to
No,
a random
just-
ass
So
door?
okay, all right.
Well-
So you're in a place that you're surrounded by zombies and you're by yourself and you're not home. That's your scenario, right? Right?
Something like that.
Something like that.
There's
And then
a-
there's a door to go through, but you don't know where it goes. I mean,
Yeah, there you go.
if if you're surrounded by zombies, I'm assuming you have to go through that door.
Yeah, but you're like, there's only one person can get there first before they get attacked by hordes.
So who are you with though?
Why do they
people-
like that?
Your
No, I'm
scenario is very odd.
I know, I'm just
Oh,
trying
Christian.
to get survival.
So-
Anyways, how would you?
So
survive?
before, yeah, okay. So we gotta try to plan so you don't get yourself into a situation where you're standing in a house surrounded by people. That's like last case scenario where you gotta like fight or flight type of deal. But like,
I don't know.
how
Food
do
and
you
water.
how do you survive like the
I
generality of the apocalypse?
would probably go somewhere out of the city, but like close enough to the city where you can still get to it. But
Supply runs.
out of the city, less population, so there'd be less zombies like walking around. but also like food and water, like the ability to like hunt for food if you can't scavenge for food. So if you're in the
Mm.
wild where there's less people and more animals, then you can have natural food resources that way. So I would get out of the city because food and water is like what I'm thinking, and the stores are
Yeah.
gonna get hit right away. So going to a
Yeah.
store, I mean, you can try, but that's gonna be dangerous.
They'll probably die at the damn store.
it's probably
Yeah.
gonna be hit anyways. So
Yeah, I think
I'm
long
getting
term.
away from I'm getting away from people. I'm getting into the not too far away, like you said though, so I can kind of like go back to the city and scavenge later on. But I think for the initial like thing, you got to get away from the people.
All the crazies.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
think like long term, you kind of have to be somewhere a bit more open because, you know, scavenging only works until shit's done and gone.
Yeah,
You know what I
you can
mean?
only scavenge until
So
there's
eventually
nothing
you
else to
gotta
scavenge.
you gotta farm and all that
Yeah.
nonsense. So you gotta have land where you can plant crops and trees and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
in the city setting, that's probably less ideal. And like I said, it's way
Yeah.
more populated. It's loud. It's bigger. It's probably gonna collect like either crazy people or like where the zombies and stuff would be. So yeah, I think moving out. would
I
probably
almost
be-
feel like at the beginning, you can't like set yourself up right away to be like too good and too nice because then people will just try to come overtake you.
yeah.
I feel like, oh, look at this guy. He's got like a whole farm. He's got a whole like, defense area. Like,
Well, that's
oh
why you
man,
just-
let's like kill this dude and take shit.
You just bound somewhere there's nobody, and hopefully no one finds you.
Yeah, like you gotta form like a group early and like kind of keep it pretty close knit because yeah, if you start taking in other people, then it's like are they pulling their weight? Are they just eating your food type of deal? You gotta kind of like
Mm.
make a structure where it's like probably some sort of group of family and friends that are close enough that you can like be with
Mm.
that.
Well, that's the thing. It's like you get to that point. It's like you need to balance like the group and like sustainability. Like if you have too many, like having a lot of people is good, but then that's just that many more people to take care of, to feed, to
Yeah, it's
trust,
more
or
work.
whatever. So like you have to make sure you can balance that. Like in the beginning, you might have to stay small, which like it'd be hard. Like you want all your friends, but like you kind of have to stay small, grow, be able to like bring in more people. And then once you're like, okay, we have enough resources, we have sustainability, like we can bring in more people now.
The problem with
You kinda
that
have to
though
do
is that early on is probably your only time of communications because over
Yeah,
time communications
true.
fail and then you're like
Yeah.
I guess I can walk to this guy's house, and if he's not
Yeah.
there, then I'll just walk home because like cell phones, all the just electricity in general, will probably just be like crap. So
Yeah.
that's the only thing is whoever you connect with in the beginning, that's kind of like your group because you're just gonna lose contact and you have no idea where they're going after that. It's like everything is just starting over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That'd be
this,
hard. That'd be
and like
tricky.
so what do you do? Say it's like a year into this thing, right? And you got your group, you got your base, whatever. You got your shit going, right? And then like medical stuff happens. I mean, what if people get sick?
Yeah, that's rough.
You
I know,
you
it's
run
like-
out of
Day
What do you
one,
do?
do you like? Oh, I need a doctor. I need a this. Like, I feel like people wouldn't think like that. You'd just be like, oh, one of my friends. They're all cool people. Then it's like
Mhm.
your friends might just be a bunch of like assholes that like have no
Yeah.
skills.
I
Mm.
feel like you would need some like people that are handy with construction and some people that are smart with medical
Engineering.
stuff and
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need like a wide range of skill set to have sustainability. Otherwise, it's like, oh yeah, it's all good for like a month, and after a month, you're like, oh, this is starting to suck.
we just have a bunch of idiots who don't know how to do anything.
Yeah,
Either
everyone's
that or
just-
you learn. I mean, I feel like the doctor is like the only thing that would be like really hard to like fill. Like building wise, like you can learn, you can kind of teach yourself, you can kind of like
yeah,
by doing you can get there. But like medical stuff, you're not just gonna be like, I'm just gonna keep trying until I get it. Like you
Yeah,
can't
like-
like do that like with
Yeah, for-
prescriptions or like
for base-
surgery.
yeah. For basic stuff, it's like okay, everyone knows. You try to keep your medicine, but yeah, if like something crazy happens, you're like, oh, I gotta like, this guy's having like a brain hemorrhage or something like that. It's like,
Yeah.
what, like I have no idea what to do.
Yeah, like everything else you can kind of probably figure out, but that's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, that's I don't know. I don't really know. Like I know medical people obviously, but I don't know like a
Medical
doctor.
Yeah, I know. Like who knows a doctor?
But then it's
You know
like,
your doctor.
are you just reaching out to
Call
this-
your doctor.
yeah, you just reaching out to like a random person just because they're a doctor, and like it's like,
Yeah.
hey, remember me? Like, you want to live in my house and make sure we're all alive?
They're like, nope, sorry, I have a family that already asked me to do
Yeah, I
it. So
That's where it gets a little crazy. because yeah, like every person you know probably has like 2 decisions they can make as far as like people they're gonna go with. You have like their
Mhm.
immediate family, and then more of like their friend group probably. You're like, oh, you invite your friend group over to your family, but then it's like, oh, well, that friend group is probably gonna go to their family, so it's like, I don't know,
Yep.
like you could just keep widening it, and you'll have a like some warehouse of like 150 people in there, but then is that better? I mean, if you have like a big warehouse, that's pretty sweet too, because you can like limit your entrances and
Yeah.
but then
Yeah,
yeah,
like
it's
this-
a ton of people to feed and stuff like that.
You gotta do like
Mm.
the multiple small communities kind of deal.
Like
Where, like,
establish
each
like
community-
connections.
Yeah, each community is like kind of its own self-sustainable thing, but you're still kind of all connected.
What do you do too if like you don't know anybody else? I mean, like you go that far out and just everybody's like, what do you do?
just gotta-
So,
Yeah,
so
figure it out.
to kind of like build off of what you said, like you go somewhere far away, not around people, but then like what if you and your immediate group that you bring out there is all that there is, and you can't really, do much for yourselves because you don't have enough.
Well, just bad planning on that part.
Well, I mean,
You
there's only
can't
so
do
much
that, then you
planning too.
wouldn't
Because you
do
said,
that.
oh, you could hunt, but it's like you can go in any area you want, and if you just don't find anything, you're kind of screwed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like it's a
Yeah,
risk
but still
anywhere. Like any plan you make it'll be a risk of if it's gonna work, if the group you have is good, if the food you have will last. Like long term sustainability is like where it's like scary. Everyone like watches these TV shows and it's like, oh, zombie apocalypse is crazy. Like get a bunch of people together, make a camp, like go out hunting these zombies. But it's like, what are you gonna eat in like 6 months when the stores are just destroyed? Like, did you know how to plant corn and apples? Like they don't grow overnight. Like
Mm.
that's where like I would be struggling.
What do you do in the winter up here? Like, you
That's what
can't
I always think about that here.
Yeah, without
Because like where
heat
we
and
live,
stuff? The
we
winters
all
are
have-
brutal.
we have 4 full seasons here. Where and I always think about that here. Like if that happened here, where we have full winters, that's like super.
Do you gotta like? Do you have to like grow super crop like super farm and then
yeah, I
just
don't
like
know.
you can't eat this until winter and like that's
harvest
it?
it and like
Yeah, you gotta
save,
have
I
to.
don't
You
know.
gotta find like the seasons where things grow and just get the cycle going right away. And then as it harvests it, just pack it away and then like just try to start rationing immediately. And then if you have
It's like-
food from the stores or whatever, just have that separately. But you gotta like immediately jump on a long term cycle. Because if you wait, then like you risk not like succeeding at it. I feel like you would have
It's
to
like build,
jump
like,
into
a
farming
greenhouse.
like right away.
That's tough too
Yeah.
because what if you're like in a shitty soil area or whatever?
Yeah.
You can't
I
grow shit.
know.
Like,
Yeah, you're like in
well,
a-
okay, I gotta move. I just set up my whole fucking base, but I gotta move now.
What's the thing? If you're like all these people that live in like apartments and stuff, it's like you just have like some communal thing. Everyone's gonna be stealing it. Like you like
Just,
fence it
throw it
off.
on the
Like this is
roof.
my area. It's just gonna. That's where it gets crazy. Where if you're not like in an area where you can be secluded,
Mhm.
it's like you just risk people stealing your shit because the people that are gonna suck at this are just gonna try to just take everyone else's stuff.
What would you use or keep as a weapon? Because we haven't talked about that. What's your main tool that you use the zombie apocalypse?
A tool or a weapon?
It's a weapon, either or.
I mean,
Everything.
yeah, pretty much everything. I think you gotta have something that's just like
Like your go-to,
like your go-to, like some sort of like a bat or some like
like a
sharpened
samurai
stick,
sword
like,
or something.
something like that. That's not gonna like nothing's gonna run out on it. Like it might
Yeah, so
break, but it's
Eventually
like
it'll break.
something that's like kind of like reusable. I mean, obviously like guns are great. but
Even
they're
with
not-
a bat though. Like
Metal
like
bat.
a metal bat crushes. A wooden bat will break eventually. Like
Over time, yeah.
Yeah, over
Just
time. That's what I mean. You gotta,
reliable.
I don't know, you gotta plan that out. But you also like, if you're looking at like how many bats should I get versus like how many pounds of food should I get type of thing,
yeah.
you gotta kind of figure it out. But like I said, obviously like guns are great if you're trying to like deal with other like crazy people who are turn into like evil murderers in the apocalypse.
That's why I feel like guns would be good just dealing with other
For
people.
other people.
I feel like
you gotta,
wouldn't
like-
use them
that's gonna
on
be like a-
zombies.
Limited supply.
It's good. Yeah, it's
Last
gonna be like
resort.
locked up in like only specific thing because obviously like bullets, like no one knows how to
In a raid.
make bullets. It's like once you run out of your like limited clips, like you're like, oh well, now I just have this metal object, which might be great, but probably not the best. So They're
what
good.
would
They're
be
definitely
your-
good to have, but
So what would be your go-to tool that you'll use to like fix or repair anything?
A hammer, shovel.
well, fix and repair. I mean, that's a. It depends on what's broken, but I mean, my go-to weapon would probably be a bat. I think that
Hammer's
easy.
pretty good.
hammer's good,
It's
but
like a
bat,
metal pipe. like
Like a bat, you
anything.
got like a
Like
solid.
crowbar or
Thing,
something.
but the thing
Yeah.
is, after a while, when you keep using the metal pipe, it just starts to hurt your hand after a while.
So there's these
Yeah,
things.
but then you'd just be jacked and your hands would be
Kinda-
all calloused,
kinda-
you'd be all set.
Tim, what you said, a metal pipe or a bar, like in plumbing, when we do
That's not
plumbing,
gonna-
there's this a big metal bar. It's kind of heavy, awkward to swing, but I feel like it's super durable. We use
Yeah.
it like to dig shit in the ground. It's
Yeah, I mean,
pretty.
Anything like that you can hold. I mean, I just feel like a bat is easy to carry. It's not too heavy. You get your distance. You can do your damage.
With a machete.
It's good.
Machete's good. I think like, a solid steel
A
like
Bowie.
katana would be beast, but like, that's like hard to find. Obviously, like all the swords you could probably order would be like just
Like, are
crappy
Just
stuff.
Amazon it.
Yeah, they would just
Yeah.
break right away. So you would need if you
Yeah.
had like some real steel samurai thing, that'd be like awesome. But
You have to like keep it sharp though too, because it'll dull out fast.
true.
That's the thing.
You gotta have like that handheld stuff that you can swing without tiring yourself. Like you can't have like this 80-pound weapon where you're like, oh, it's great, but you can't like defend
It's like a
yourself.
sledgehammer.
I feel like a
quickly.
claw hammer would be good. Nice
All right,
pointy
so-
end on one
so-
side, and then
Yeah.
also you can
Yeah, you could have
smash like.
A couple things like something you can put in your pocket, like a little knife. Something you can put in a backpack. Something you can hold without getting tired.
Yeah, you
if
need
you're
like
gonna
multiple little things.
go
So
on a
you say
journey.
your primary will be a bat, and what's your secondary?
So specific.
Like short, like it has to be something easy to use.
Bat hammer.
That's like a knife.
Yeah,
Or
a
like
bat
a
is a bat is
Bowie.
good range. A hammer is a good a little bit if they're closer. It's still light, and then like real close it would be some sort of like knife.
Bowie
thing.
or knife.
Yeah.
I say you always have to keep it on you just so you can use
Yeah.
it to make shift weapons out of and cut things out of wood or use
Yeah,
it.
oh yeah,
That's
spear,
like the
like
main tool.
wooden
That's what I
spear.
think.
Yeah, knife would be like absolutely necessary for everything. Like just
Cutting things.
Yeah, it's-
Well, yeah,
uh,
first, well, you
makeshift
gotta
things.
start. It's hard because you gotta start. You go up to a tree, right, and you just punch the tree until you get wood, and then you use that wood to make a crafting table, and then
Duh.
you can punch some more trees.
You
to
gotta make
like,
planks. You gotta make
You can make
sticks.
you can make an axe out of the wood that you got.
You
and
gotta
then
find
can use-
cobblestone.
We
Yeah,
don't
once
make
you use that,
woods aren't
you can.
axes aren't made of wood except for the handles.
No,
That's not
but
gonna help you.
yeah, but this will
He
be a
doesn't-
wood axe,
Here's
he
a
doesn't
wooden
And then-
axe.
a wooden pickaxe too, and then
Yeah.
you use that wooden pickaxe to mine some stone. And then when you get the stone, you
It
can
turns-
make
yeah.
a stone pickaxe.
You need
And
3
you
wood
just
and
go
2
from-
cobblestone.
You just
Yeah.
go
2
from
wood
there.
and 3
And
cobblestone.
you just go around and just
That's-
punch grass, and then
Yeah.
automatically get seeds.
You get wheat seeds from grass.
Wheat seeds, yeah, that makes sense. Those are important.
Scott's the only one who's never played Minecraft.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But
It's been Have you done? Did you? I tried once, Scott.
Scott's
It's been out for a long time.
yeah, I've never played it, but I've seen it
Oh.
played millions of times.
I thought you had
so.
your hands on it.
And then you don't look the
Yeah.
Enderman in the eyes during
Yeah.
the zombie
All right.
apocalypse.
So what situation of what TV series or movie would you take, and their survival skills, and what would you incorporate it to the real thing?
Well, honestly, I think every movie or show that isn't The Walking Dead just has people just straight up dying all the time. It's just like
Yeah.
Walking Dead at least has people building communities and trying
Yeah,
because
that-
they're walking dead. Like every other
Probably
movie, they're like
more-
million-mile-an-hour running
Yeah.
zombies.
I think Walking Dead is like realistic to like the most extent out of all of them, and
Yeah.
it's just like easier with that too, because like a movie you got an hour and a half, 2 hours to show this whole like apocalypse. When like Walking Dead, so many seasons they can build the communities, they
Yeah.
can show.
And I
like,
feel
the
like
progression
if
of the
there
community.
was ever gonna be like zombies, like why would they be faster than a normal person? I feel like the zombie would be like
yeah, there wouldn't
deteriorating
be like
version.
superpowers.
Yeah.
It would
Yeah.
definitely be a slower version. Maybe
Oh,
like they
well,
would
I
maybe
don't
not
know.
walking,
Sure, it won't
maybe
be
like
like 28 days later.
no, like
Yeah,
I don't think like people are gonna get infected and just turn into like beasts. Like that just doesn't make sense.
Well, I think I think it could. I don't think they're going to be faster than what they were. But if you were already a fast person, why wouldn't that zombie be as fast as that person was?
I guess it depends. Yeah,
You know
it
what I
depends on
mean?
what it is. If it like a zombie is
Over
technically that
time,
you
though.
die and then you come back. Like the infected is like you just turn into this crazy thing. So I guess
Yeah.
like if you die and you come back, you're like less cognitive, so you're not gonna be like sprinting around. But yeah, if you're like infected and you're just like alive but infected, then yeah, you could be insane.
Yeah, It just depends like what the type of zombie.
So
is
yeah, I
and
mean
how you go at
that
it.
changes things a lot. Because if you're dealing with like I Am Legend and those kinds of like
Oh yeah,
vampire
I'm just ending
creatures,
it. I'm killing
like-
myself right away.
I'll shoot myself.
yeah, you're,
Yeah,
you're
I'm not dealing
screwed
with
because
that.
you can't like everything we're talking about doesn't relate. You can't like, oh, I have a group in a community. Like you need to like have a fortified like brick
Bunker
building,
thing.
like bunker,
Yeah.
like
Bomb shelter.
yeah, you need to be like fully enclosed, weapons at every door, like locks, like yeah, like that's a whole different strategy. So
How do you like? What do you? You can't even go outside almost. Like
You gotta,
it-
like, sneak
yeah,
around,
in that
so-
one it's like it's like a daytime nighttime thing, but I mean I guess
Yeah.
if you're gonna try to plan for it, it could be daytime crazies too. So yeah, you have to have like a place that's completely sealed with like no evidence that there's life, so you don't attract anybody. But then you need to have like ninja stealth missions where you can't be carrying around like bats and stuff. You gotta all be like little knives, I guess, or
That's why I'm going. Like a
That's why I think
compound bow.
that's why I think it's good to live in a 3-floor building. One that can have on the top floor can lead to like another building. And that'll be like
But-
one entrance, and then you could just block the bottom.
another thing with the bow too is like it's good, it's nice, it's accurate, it's fucking deadly. But you
It's-
also got to pick up your arrows or whatever
And-
you're
Yeah.
shooting.
And you're gonna-
afterwards.
But you
you're
can
gonna-
reuse them though.
yeah, but you can fire
you get
one
them.
quick, but then like you're probably dead before you load up the second one. You
Well,
know
yeah,
what I mean?
you're not
It's
bringing it
definitely
into a
good because
situation
it's-
with like a lot of people. You're
Yeah.
like bringing it like out scat. Like you still have your backups, but it's just like
It's a good weapon
You
to
just-
have.
Oh yeah,
picking
it's
them
a
off.
solid weapon to
You can
have.
pick
But I
'em
feel
off.
like if you're talking about like having to like ninja sneak during the day to go like take cans of soup from the local store or something, I don't know. I feel like that would probably slow you down.
The local store resupplied their soup stock randomly through the zombie
Market Basket
apocalypse.
is still open.
Yeah, I mean that's the last
Like,
thing
we
to
got
go.
some soup
Soups.
cans for you.
But
Turn
Yeah.
your Nerf gun into a nail gun.
that's impossible. You need like some sort of compressed system. But for,
Yeah, just
for what
slap
Christian was saying, it's not a horrible idea. Like getting a like just you think like, oh yeah, I'll stay in my house, I'll fortify, I'll be protected, but it's like you're really not. Like most houses just have like a door or so on the bottom floor, then you're like
Yeah.
something happens, you're stuck. Like if you're like get like some 3-story building where you got like a lookout that you could be kind of sneaky with and like have your 3-story, but then yeah, barricade the bottom floor, have like nothing there, just like traps or whatever. Be on the
Yeah.
second and third floor. Second floor maybe you'll like have your supply, then like you stay up on the third floor. But have a way out, either like a zip line to another building or like a something fast.
Jump way.
A jump?
Or like a drawbridge kind of on top
Yeah,
floor.
but it has to be something like quick, like I said, like something like zip line system where you can like if they're coming you could just bolt. Like if it's like a ladder and you just like climbing down this little ladder like an idiot, it's not gonna help you. But
Yeah.
that would be a
yeah,
sweet.
you always need like
You need
you
like a
always
sec.
need a
You
way
need a
out.
second getaway. You can't like. That's the thing. You're in your house and you're like, oh, you keep going upstairs running, and then all of a sudden you're like in your bedroom. You're like, oh, well, now I'm fucked. Like you need.
I can jump out my window. That's the thing with a house though. Like you can
You
like
can, but it's
smaller
like
houses you can always jump
if
out
they're
and
in your
get
house,
away.
they're probably in your yard. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, yeah.
you think like
Well,
third
if you
story
are
building. If
that
you like
many of
zip
them.
line somewhere, you want to like zip line to like a building 100 feet away, like
Yeah.
across the street. That way you give yourself enough time to like just book it.
But for like an easy access, just like I said, like have something like a close building that can lead to like a long plank or something that you could just draw forth.
Yeah,
Someone
something that you
comes-
can make sure they can't follow you back.
Definitely build a moat around your house with a
With
drawbridge.
some alligators.
That'd be awesome.
I mean, you
That would
could
work. And no, you just
That
like a
would be-
deep hole with like a bunch of wooden spikes in it.
like a
You
6
just-
to 8 foot hole.
Yeah, just do something like
It'd take you a little while, but
I mean, you
take
got all the time in the world after this. It's not gonna just be like, oh, it's over, back to normal. You have to like
You're
literally
like,
like,
yeah, I just finished my moat.
yeah, you have to like literally like rebuild society. That's the thing
mean,
people
you'd
don't
have to-
think of. It's like it's not like you just do this for a
That's-
while and
yeah.
it's like, oh cool,
That's
right,
just
it's over. It's
forever.
like
All right,
like
gotta
forever.
put dirt back in the moat.
you're legit like a farmer
Yeah.
now, and you need to like learn how to restart the power.
you'd have to
grid.
have like 6 people just dedicated to digging that moat all day long.
yeah, that's like every day.
That's what you do. You don't do anything else. You get fed
Unless you,
like
like-
somebody else feeds you. You just dig that moat.
You just get it like early and you like on it right away and you just know someone has like a backhoe and you just start digging that shit right away before gas runs out.
Exactly.
So
That's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
I feel like
that's what's
you
crazy.
just got
Bunch of
big
the ground.
equipment early on.
Like day one, you need to like have your like 30-year plan like in motion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like either digging your moat or like planting your seeds or like fortifying your fence or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, just get a bunch of seeds, some soil,
just get some soil.
fresh.
Fresh soil. Just surround my house with fresh soil because
Yeah.
zombies don't like
I mean,
fresh
keeping
soil.
like emergency like seed supply at your house, like people probably don't even think about that. Like that's not
Mm.
it's not a bad
They,
idea.
like,
Pretty good.
They have that.
I know,
Like
it's
the
like-
governments
yeah,
and
you
stuff.
can buy,
like,
like-
there's a bunch around the world that have
Oh yeah, they have like those
these
caverns.
frozen that like these like super like secure things that have like every plant, every
Yeah,
like
yeah.
food seed
Like,
in the world just
purposely
in
for
case
that,
something
yeah.
happens.
Which is pretty
It's pretty
crazy.
crazy.
That they have that, yeah. I've
That's
seen
kind of
those.
cool. Like at least that like government's doing something useful, or like probably not even government.
Yeah, it's not the
probably some,
government.
Like, other company,
It's like
but
some other
Someone's-
specific thing.
potato-
someone's doing it.
Plant some potatoes,
Yeah.
let it grow.
Just put
You
a whole
know, like-
potato in the ground.
That's pretty much
Like-
Turn
it.
a potato. Turn a potato
That's how they.
to
That's how it
electricity.
works.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Potatoes don't have
And-
seeds.
Yeah,
Use-
if you
use
like go to the
potato
store and you get a
electricity.
bunch of potatoes, most people would just like take the potatoes and just eat them over time. Like you gotta like cut them up and replant them. Like you gotta do
Well,
like
what
that
you
guy
do is,
did in
like-
that Mars movie.
What you do is you plant one potato, right, and then when
Just
the
throw it in the
leaves
ground.
when the leaves
it
come
up.
out, you smack it, and then like 4 potatoes come out, and then you take the 4, but then you put one back again.
Yeah.
So then you can
It's just
continue.
a
multiplying.
continuous supply of
Yeah,
potatoes.
and you
supply
can do
every
that with
time.
carrots too. Carrots.
Eventually, you
potatoes,
get to the
beets.
point where you won't ever have to do it again because you just have so many.
Yeah, and then you just too many potatoes.
Can you just make potato into a like electric source?
You can make pumpkin pies.
You can make vodka if you have enough
That-
potatoes.
well, you
Potato,
can just make
potato
it on
is a pretty
toilet.
solid thing. You can do a lot with a potato.
Yeah, you can bake
You
it.
throw
We should
potato
keep
somewhere.
Christian around then.
Do you know how to make potatoes, Christian? No.
I know how to boil potato. I know how to peel potato.
Oh no shit.
Well, you can use. That I was thinking like the potato you can use be like a electric source, but that's not enough. You need a lot of potatoes.
If you want like to power one tiny little light bulb.
For like 10
For like
seconds.
5 seconds.
Yeah. Like, oh,
Yeah.
nice. And all your potatoes are like tainted now.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Potatoes.
No one touch my potato.
That's the thing. Is, so it's like,
Potatoes.
Taintos.
are people gonna then like start going towards areas that are like built with solar? You know what I mean? Like, some
Mhm.
people have solar, and I mean, right now it's
Well, that's true. A lot of
Yeah.
houses have it.
yeah. But right
They
now,
use it as a
the
resource.
people that even have solar, they don't even get to use most of it. Most of it just gets sent back to the freaking electrical company.
Yeah, it's
So, like,
kind of a scammy right
Yeah,
now.
it's a super scammy right now, but like that would be definitely the way to go. Like,
Unless you like do it yourself, then you can do
like
it,
have
but-
have a part of your home that's like built on solar that can power some
Yeah.
stuff. Because like I said, you can have generators, all that stuff, but like even gases are gonna eventually be super hard to find. Like
Yeah.
even
yeah.
in the show, it's like 10 years later, and he's like still
Yeah, they're driving
siphoning gas
cars.
out of cars. Like how is that? There's millions of people, and it's like no one's taking all that gas yet.
And gas goes bad too. If you got a
Yeah, you can
car
just,
sitting with gas in it for like 5 years, that's
Yeah,
not gonna be good. There's
that's
gonna be moisture
gonna
in
be
it. It's
awful.
gonna
That's why you get
ruin your-
nasty.
That's why you get
nasty
turbines.
shit.
It's not gonna work.
yeah, you can't just build a
Yeah.
turbine. It's just so much more.
Well, that's the thing.
like,
You need like engineers. Like
With
if you like
potatoes.
things break. Like you can have a solar panel, that'd be good, and it'll be probably good for a while. But like, what happens if something breaks or something? Like you need someone who knows how to work on solar panels to fix it.
you need people that know how to like make the next thing. Like I said, like no one ever
Yeah.
talks about like coming out of the zombie apocalypse. Like how do you restart the world when the world ends?
Well, it's literally like restarting it. Like you're just going back in time, and you just gotta
Like
restart it.
yeah, like
I don't think you can necessarily restart it to like what we're living in now. I don't think that's
yeah.
possible.
Well, I mean, as long
I
as
mean,
like
I think it would eventually over like a long.
I can tell you right now that
Time, but-
survival instincts of this year or going forward is a little
Is
less
it worse?
of
Yeah.
surviving an apocalypse just because everyone uses one electronic use of a
Yeah.
phone for everything.
Like, what are you
And-
gonna do? I'm gonna make TikToks to fight off the zombies.
yeah, people going forward, people feel like they're less and less equipped as
Yeah.
like the older generations like slowly go away. Like the younger
gotta-
generations are so technology dependent. I mean, we all
Yep.
use technology every day. I
We
work
just
with
use
technology,
YouTube.
but it's like, yeah, you like converting that over to like real skills like forever because you never. It's like, oh, I can't wait till this comes back. It's like it probably won't come back in your lifetime.
In your
Like,
lifetime, yeah.
if something like that were to happen, because you would have to like restructure and rebuild the government from the ground up and rebuild the power plants and the distribution of wealth and all that stuff. Like that would literally have to start from ground up, which
Mm-hmm.
sounds good in theory, but at the same time, it's like massive people would die. It's like it's not really something anybody wants.
so many
Yeah.
variations of like what it restarted. Like government is
It could be
still
worse.
the same way as it is.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like,
Like,
oh, well, we
still-
need to rebuild it, but it's like, yeah, you could have like these warring factions that are just like one is like
Mhm.
this murder clan. You're like, what the hell is
Militias.
that? Yeah, like militias and people that have the power and like the bad people that don't mind like killing other people. Those are the people that are
Yeah.
gonna rise up. It's like, yeah, no one ever
Yep.
talks to like coming out of the apocalypse is like, that's the scary part. Like whatever you did is gone. You're now like a farmer. You got to figure out how to like build a windmill and run it, and then build more. And
Water
maybe,
wheels and all that
yeah,
shit.
now you're like a windmill builder, and that's just what you do forever. It's like that's like the sad part. It's like initially everyone's like,
know.
"Oh, I'm gonna fortify, I'm gonna fight." And it's like, all right, talk to me in a year when like you haven't taken a shower in 6 months and like you're like
Well,
literally in the
there's, like-
dark all the time.
There's like no like entertainment anymore. Nothing you do is for pleasure. Nothing you do is
It's
for like
all purpose.
It's just it's survival, and that's how it like used to be a long time ago.
Yeah.
Which I'm not saying like it's good. It's like definitely better
crossword
that we
puzzles.
like what were you saying, like how this generation has definitely gotten dependent. Like it's not like technology's not bad, but it's like it definitely has taken away some of that.
Yeah, it's like a crutch because I mean, we got to this point because we've automated these things and we have power and
Yeah.
things just run, which is what you want. Like, if society's good, like you don't need people out there shoveling coal every 10 seconds. Like, we got to this point for a reason,
Mm-hmm.
but having to like restart, like, where does that restart? Like, does it happen like way further back, or is it like, okay, we have all these like cell towers, we have these power grids, like, how do we just get those back on? You know what I mean? So I'm not really rebuilding. So as long as everything's there,
Yeah.
it's kind of just
Yeah.
trying to like get those back up and running. But how long that takes, like, who knows? It's like,
You can't just press a button and be like, oh, everything's okay.
all right, so
yeah, power's back on now. Flip the switch.
So that is a question. So like, the zombie part aside, so let's say they either like everyone's been infected and then like, you know, all the people that were infected are like dead, or like they found some cure and all the zombies are dead and now they've cured everyone that's alive. Like, at that point, like, how long do you think it would take for some actual running form of like society? I mean, I guess right
I feel like
away,
it would
but
quite
I
some
think-
time.
it would be like
5 years?
small. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think there would be a lot of like multiple ones. It wouldn't be like a collective like we have now. It would
Yeah.
be like a whole. It would just be like everyone in their own area would start their own thing, and then it would eventually they would start to connect and like slowly grow. But like
yeah, then you'd have to like
I don't know.
have these like nominated leaders and
Yeah,
stuff, and it would
would
slowly
get-
like the big areas would get bigger and whatever. But it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you would definitely have like there'd be like hundreds in each state across the whole
Mhm.
country. It would just
Yeah.
be like insane.
It'd be
That's
like,
how, like, it-
Civil War all over again.
That's what I was gonna say. To be like how it was like when things were getting colonized and like people were like expanding and
Yeah, I know. It'd be,
discovering new land and stuff. Like people there already, they were just like, oh hi, like this is ours now. And they were just like killing people and just taking over land. Like
That's
that's how
that's like
like
that's,
literally what we're living in now. That's how it happened.
Yeah.
Like
So scenario. Let's push aside just like Scott. Like,
Let's
I'm
push
gonna
aside
put
Scott.
well, let's
Let's push
make it a
aside-
twist. Like, what if, like, a big, like a nerf of like a electricity bomb, like just like wipes out all of like, what's that called?
EMP.
EMP,
Grid.
like a big EMP
Yeah.
just knocks
Say
out every
nerf.
electricity source around the world, and that we have to survive on our basic instinct. You think we could survive long enough?
We could survive without electricity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that'd be. It would suck, but like it would be fine. There's other sources of
and
electricity, like we were talking about earlier, like solar and like wind power and stuff. All those systems would still be intact, and that doesn't.
yeah,
you
so
don't
like
need,
yeah, the EMP will kill what's delivering the electricity, but it doesn't stop electricity. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah.
it would kill. We would
Don't
just have
get
to
it.
rebuild and restart those things, and then get the electricity back. So there would be a gap. But if that
It'd be a
happened
while.
today, that gap would be probably long because there's a lot of infrastructure. But I mean,
hmm
it would happen probably like in a couple months or something. You'd probably be pretty much back up because you would have like half the world would be like trying to help get things up and running because people are super dependent on it. So it would suck, and everyone would be like, "Oh, so this is like." Everyone thinks
Oh,
they
yeah,
can like
so
go
that-
without electronics and stuff, but then like when
That'd
you
be
actually
crazy,
had
though.
to, and never mind electronics, like lights, like cooking food and stuff. Like when you had to like start fires to cook
Yeah.
anything, people would be like, "Wow, this is way more than like I ever thought it would be." So I think people
Yep.
could do it, but it would
Yeah.
you would have some crazies. You would definitely have people that are like straight up to start killing people for their food
Yeah,
because
they're
they
just
don't want to do stuff.
Trying to take advantage of the situation.
What would you do like currency wise? I mean, like obviously people are moving towards debit cards, credit cards, shit like that now.
Chocolate.
Not a lot of people carry cash on them as much
Yeah.
anymore.
Chocolate.
I mean, would you like
Bottle
would,
caps.
would currency become like actual like a valuable thing? Not
I
that
think
it's not
so.
valuable now, but like
I think in that
Some form of
scenario,
value.
I think in that scenario, it becomes whatever is most limited and most wanted. You know what I mean? So if it's like,
It'd be like supplies.
Yeah, just be a barter system.
yeah, it would be like a
like
barter
suppl-
system. So like whatever's the most value, whatever's the rarest to find would have the highest value. So it's like, oh, I need like coffee beans. It's like, oh, coffee beans. That's high
a rubber
value.
cup beans.
A rubber company.
So like I feel like it would definitely be like a bartering system where it would be value of the object you're trading. Like you would never have like, at least for like a long time, you would never have any sense of non-value. Like right now, like money, the paper money is nothing. The only value is that you can get something with the money. But in that system, that money doesn't mean anything to anybody because there's no use for it. Because then if you're gonna give it to
Yeah.
them, they're just gonna give it to somebody else. Like who actually wants it? If you're gonna
Yeah.
trade something like someone, I'm like, I don't want your money. I want your potatoes for my carrots or something.
Yeah.
So I
Well, you
feel
can
like
just like mine for like emeralds, and I know traders they'll walk around
Like,
with,
oh, is that a
emeralds.
Twinkie? That's worth more.
You can get a Herm Village.
Yeah, they're like, here, and then just give them emeralds. And
You
then
make
use
make
go.
special potions and turn a Squidward into a Herm.
them.
it might be like
See,
that. We don't even
Minecraft is
know.
life. Minecraft has been training us for this.
My Herm's been up and running since a while.
My Herm. He
He's
just
ready.
went by himself.
So you guys are good to go.
One by one shed.
Yep.
Hmm.
There you go. You already figured it out.
Scenario.
Okay, well,
What are you
nice.
saying? What are you saying?
What are you saying?
Oh, the electricity thing. Yeah, that wouldn't be that bad. It would be bad, but it wouldn't be.
I think it
It's
would
not,
be like
it's
a
not. It's not apocalyptic.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a major setback, and it's definitely like some yeah, adjusting.
Some
wow, that was
Russian-
weird.
So what do you
Yeah,
think will be the
so-
high value in food?
food,
corn, rice,
food itself.
Yeah, I think it would be the base level stuff. I feel like the fancy
beans.
stuff gets taken out of the stores, gets eaten, it's gone. It would be the staples
Yeah.
like the giant bags of rice, like the kind of stuff that you can have for a long time. Like that stuff would be super valuable versus like
Yeah,
some
like junk
fancy little
food and
tiny
just,
steak
like-
thing. It's like that's one meal. It's like
bacon wrapped fillet.
yeah, like that's super
Oh, yeah. I'm
unnecessary
gonna
versus
be-
like
I'm gonna be
a
selling
50
that.
a 50-pound sack of rice that'll feed your family for like a month. Like that's way more valuable. Even though like
Like
the cost
soups.
is way different if you were to look at them now, but yeah, I think it would be kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, like noodles. Noodles will be
canned food.
that value now.
Oreos.
But I feel like the electricity thing would like that
Double
would
stuff.
that would still reset
yeah.
everything. Like that's like a pause, but it's also as all electronics go down, all these jobs that purely rely on electronics, like
Yeah,
people
that's
that
true.
do like marketing and all this other nonsense, like that stuff wouldn't even relate. Even when power came back on, like no one would have been like seeing ads or watching these other things. So, like there probably would be a whole shift in jobs, depending
But
on how
wouldn't-
long it
wouldn't-
took. Like
I
if it was
think,
like a year,
everybody would lose their job.
Wouldn't
At least for a while.
like
Yeah.
creeks and stuff like that, like the ones that are powered by water,
Yeah. What
Creek
about it?
dams and stuff like that?
creeks are always
yeah,
powered
this-
by water.
No, I mean like what are those big?
like
Yeah,
the water.
the dams. The
mill,
dams
the
Dams.
water-
generate electricity because they let the water flow
Yeah.
through it. I mean, if the system was fried, they would just have to figure out what was fried because an EMP just fries like part of
Yeah.
the system. It doesn't just blow it up. So they would have to find what was fried and somehow remake that. But the dam would still be there. It just wouldn't be sending electricity anywhere.
Oh, so but they can still build it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. An EMP
Over
just
time.
is like a temporary thing. It's not just like, oh, now you can never have electricity
Yeah.
again. It's just like you're on your cell phone, EMP goes off. Oh, your cell phone's like, the internal thing like fried on it. You're like, oh, damn
Everyone's
it.
like, we're doomed.
Yeah, it's not like that show where it's like literally like there's like nanobots in the air that like eat
Yeah.
electricity
Revolution.
and like you just can't have electricity. Like that's
What the
way worse because then it's like, and first of
The
all,
hell
that
is that?
scenario is like super. It was a show a long time ago on Fox.
It was a really good show.
Yeah, it was a
I
really
liked
good
it.
show.
What was it called?
Revolution.
You-
Oh, that's what it was. I
like
never watched- I heard
that
about it.
scenario and like Into the Badlands, like going back to like modern times.
Yeah, well, Badlands
using
has
swords.
a like
Modern
a.
time.
Going back to modern times.
I mean, it would definitely go back to like those types of
Modern times.
those era where it's like it's gonna feel old compared to where we are now.
Oh yeah. That's
Like-
Or like
modern.
Jericho.
People are gonna start walking around in like different clothes, and this is like everything's just gonna reset back
They
to
were
like the
they were potato
1800s.
sacks.
Potato
Look
sack.
at my new fashion potato
I mean,
sacks.
you can do that. You'll still be weird.
Yeah, I mean, I guess well,
Yeah, I
What
think that would be
time frame?
only you doing that.
He has
fashion.
potatoes.
I think everyone has enough clothes where it's like, yeah, you might not wash it all the time, but like you're still gonna have your shirts. Like if you have one ripped
Yeah.
shirt, you just wear a different shirt. It's not like all of a sudden like the apocalypse happened and everyone's like, oh shit, I have no clothes.
Yeah.
All your clothes, just the
All your
EMP takes your clothes away.
It burns
new
all your clothes.
scenario. A bomb goes off that just eliminates all clothing.
Look down. You're
Then
like,
what do you
where's
do?
everything go?
Poof, you're naked.
Like,
Everyone
the
Zombie
whole
apocalypse
world's
everywhere.
naked. There's not
Yeah.
a single article of clothing in the world.
How do
You
you
just
do
like
Does
go-
everyone stay naked, or do you just like, oh fuck, and you
Yeah.
like ripping up your rugs and like making shirts and shorts out of
You
your
just
rugs?
like go on your
it
normal
takes away
day, nothing
fabric,
changed.
so like everything, like your
Taking
couch is
trash
just like bare
bags.
metal,
every
bare wood.
fabrics.
Yeah, there's just
all
nothing
fabric.
soft anymore. No towels, no nothing.
No sheets.
All
Sleeping
soft
on the
materials just got blasted out.
Your
You should,
couch
like,
is just like a metal frame. Your
Yeah.
car is like no, like you know.
No toilet
Interior.
paper.
And no
Yeah.
toilet paper,
I guess.
What do you do?
no leaves.
You just go on your normal life. You just go on your normal life, but everyone's naked.
No,
Nothing.
I can't move my bone.
Takes away leaves too.
At
Yeah,
least
what?
kind of
No
soft.
leaves? I
No
don't-
grass.
I was thinking like fabrics, not like
but then it's
natural
like-
soft thing.
I guess leaves would
Like
you'd have to
synthetics.
you'd have to start
Like
sewing some
synthetically
leaves together
made
to make
stuff.
shirts.
No, you gotta
Yeah.
use Brillo pads.
As
No.
toilet covers.
I guess.
As
But
clothes.
sandpaper's
Take some
better.
rope.
Sandpaper's better, so you should probably use sandpaper.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
according to-
If you're confused, go back a few episodes.
So good.
What would be
Use a
what would be
cheese
your
grater.
what would be the first article of clothing you create if all clothing was destroyed?
A jumpsuit.
Potato
No,
sack.
not like I mean like realistically. You're gonna go, what are you gonna
A
make a
headband.
jumpsuit out of?
Headband. Out of rope.
Couch cushions.
Probably like a little toga.
Out of what?
Leaves. Leaves.
A leaf toga. Chris,
I would just make socks because I feel like my feet would be cold.
What's that thing like that Tarzan wears? That's a toga,
Loincloth.
right?
loincloth?
It's a
Loincloth,
loincloth.
yeah.
Something that's what I was going for. Not a
Just
toga.
something to
Toga's like a
cover the
robe.
goods.
Yeah, not a toga.
I just use trash bags.
That's gonna be
It's not
hot.
very like warm though.
Oh, it's gonna be
I
hot.
said
this
it's
summer.
not gonna be.
Yeah, but
Cut,
when it
cut,
rains,
cut
you
little
know,
holes out in the
everything
bottom of
just,
your
like,
trash bag. Pull them
Yeah.
up.
There you go.
And they can tighten it to like fit
Yeah.
your body.
You can make a
Like the
little
ones that be,
flap.
like,
You can make a little
adjustable
flap
things.
when you want to pee. You can like unflap it.
Or you can just let it loose in there.
You can have a butt flap.
It's a trash bag.
But then you just be like,
It's a trash bag,
A
like you
pee trash bag.
commonly pee in a trash bag.
I know.
You can let loose. It's like it's a trash bag. You know, guys. Whatever.
Well, you'd have
It's
to
like-
cut like so. You cut holes for your legs, right? And then in the middle, you'd have to cut like an exit hole, so you can just
Yeah.
like pee into
Are you-
the trash bag, but it'll slowly
exit
leak
hole.
out.
I mean, that could be an exit or an enter hole. That'd help you like some sort of butt flap that kind of comes down.
At this point, we got enough like store bags that you could just like all the ones that
Market
you've been storing
basket
up for
bags.
shopping. Yeah,
Store bags.
Just tape
Yeah,
them
but
all
they're
together to
all
make some
paper now.
weird shirt.
yeah.
They're all going to paper, so I'll have a bunch of paper bag costumes. Kind of like
Paperback costumes. This isn't a party, Tim. This is the
Clothing.
apocalypse.
Oh, Tim Bob.
This is the EMP that destroyed clothes. This is what's gonna happen.
it's a no CMP. I don't know.
Sure.
Clothes
Clo-
MP. That's what it's called.
Well, he said CMPs. That's what he meant.
I thought he said he wants to see me pee.
clothes
In your
clothes
trash bag.
magnetic
He wants to
pulse.
see you pee in your trash bag. You're just walking around
Yeah.
swishing it all over.
CMP. Get it? See him. See him pee.
No.
No,
No. See him pee.
I know, we get it, but no.
but no, just no.
All right, so I think Christian's going first.
What? CMP.
He's gonna be like the zombie apocalypse, and he's like, just peeing in trash bags.
All right, so
like, dude, we still have electricity.
Judging now, who would be edible for cannibalism?
Who would be edible?
Who would be edible for
Everybody's
cannibalism?
What's a weird question.
You're a freak.
Well, actually, I was
Like
going to ask a
anyone,
question similar to
but-
that. So let's say you got to the point where literally, literally you couldn't. There's no deer. There's no like squirrels. It's like you're like, you have like a
So, like
a
a-
little bit of food left, but you're done. You're like,
Like a nuclear almost thing. Like
yeah,
there's
you're
no,
just like you're done. Like you're at the end of your rope. Everyone's like on each other's nerves. Like you have no food.
Shut up, Karen. You just fucking bite her.
Like, are you gonna?
Oh, if it's a
would you-
Karen,
He's like,
Karen's
"No, no,"
she's
he's like-
gone.
Would you be able to like take out someone in the crew and cook them up and share them with the rest?
Karen, we're using your leg tonight.
Probably, I mean, if
Tomorrow
you
it's
had to.
Frank's leg tomorrow.
Well, you're gonna do like single
Probably.
body parts. You're almost better off just doing the whole person. Because then you gotta like stitch her up, and then you gotta deal with it.
Yeah.
Nah,
And she's gonna
nah,
complain the whole time.
The only
because
part
it's
that you
Karen.
won't eat is the butt because you don't want to eat butt. That's just weird.
Listen, you gotta do what you gotta do. You
wanna
can
eat
wipe
butt.
the butt before you eat it.
If you're gonna die,
You'd rather not. You'd rather not eat butt and eat like a foot.
Yeah, that's
You could wipe the butt.
no.
You don't.
Well,
You don't
you
just
like
like eat the
the
skin. You gotta cook it.
yeah.
Would
eat
you-
like meat.
Would you eat the dick?
I didn't,
Would you eat the dick? Oh my
Which
god.
would you go?
not.
Eat the butt or eat the dick? Which one's first?
Well, but
I do like
this is
breakfast
The
sausage.
worst conversation ever.
Hey, we're eating body parts, so that counts. Isn't it?
Well, I mean, you don't have to eat the whole body. I mean, you,
You
can
don't
like.
eat everything
Yeah.
off of.
Yeah, but which one were you eating off first?
Why would you? Like? Okay, first thing I'm eating off this person is his dick.
Yeah, like,
Like, there's no waste on this guy. I'm eating
Let's get
dick,
it over with.
I'm eating ass. I'm eating toes.
oh god, it's terrible.
Let's get it over with, and we can just save the good parts later.
Suckling on those bones.
Never mind. I'm not gonna do it.
I forget it. We're not gonna kill anybody.
I changed my mind.
No more cannibalism.
See, that just gives you a good question.
I guess.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
don't
don't
want to
stay
just throw it away.
stay
It's
away
meat.
from Christian.
Yeah,
Um,
he's-
You would have to be in a
Weird.
crazy state of mind to be able to like to do that. I
I'll
feel
eat
like
the
once you cross that line, it gets crazy after that.
I'll get the left cheek.
Just be eating people all the time. This guy's still
he's
going.
off in his own fucking world.
Dude,
I think he like look at him. He's like
honestly, like
he's enjoying
butt
this.
meat is probably gonna be like one of the best
Probably.
cuts. Get a little bit
Fat.
of a little bit of fat in there.
Slap some mustard
Muscle.
You're not just like
A lot of
taking
muscle-
a
muscle
butt
down
with
there,
skin
too.
on it and taking a bite out of a butt. You're gonna like make a steak out of it or something. You're just like eat a butt.
You gotta go ham on it.
He's not eating a raw butt.
It's like he just has like the torso cut off. He just has a butt on a plate, and he's just like, "This is awful." Just eating a butt.
Eating the butt.
Oh god. You gotta like cook it and like
So I mean, like,
season it.
so like how people fillet a fish, like you just slice the cheek off, and it's like a
Yeah.
big gelatinous butt, and you
Yeah.
butt.
Make the
Dude.
almost like
Like
fillet
Jello.
a butt.
Oh,
What? You can't even say it.
Gelatinous, but
Jealous butt.
What? Gelatinous butt.
Jealous butt. What's for dinner tonight? A butt?
Butt. Tom's butt.
Tom's butt. Tom's generously donated his butt
I'll
for
fucking
dinner.
do it again.
I'll do it again. Dude, you definitely have to coordinate with Goofy early on.
Oh man.
What's wrong with this guy?
I don't know. He's losing it.
Oh, like a butt?
I'll do it again. That's like no one's gonna understand that.
No one has any idea what we're talking about.
I don't know what we're talking about since we started this.
Okay, it's the end of the Board with the Boys podcast.
Ugh.
Licking butts.
Oh, I'll do it
Go-
again.
Go eat some butts. What are you?
All right, we're losing
Oh my
Christian.
god!
I think
man. We lost him a long time ago.
I think we'll call it there.
Dude, when we started talking about butts, this guy just he's gone. Yeah, we should probably call it.
Oh yeah.
Well, I hope everyone knows how to survive the
Yeah.
apocalypse and either whether
Take
it's
our
whether it's
advice.
zombies or
Vegas.
it's vanished clothing. I hope you all survive.
Or
We'll see you on the streets.
Random cannibalism.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Love
if you
cheek.
have to, eat a butt.
Eat
Eat
a
a
butt.
Eat a butt.
I'll gelatinous butt.
Oh, I'll do it again.
I'll fucking do it again.
Oh my god.
We're gonna have to like link that video or something. People are gonna
Murder.
think this is crazy.
Murder.
Oh yeah, I did.
All right.
Kill
But I
Stop.
did it. But I did it.
Oh, but I did.
All right.
All right.
Let's
Yup.
be out.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
It's a weird ending.
All right. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace out.
This was fun.
Well.